Hi, welcome to today's On This Day in Tudor History. You probably know by now, but I'm Claire Ridgway. I'm the author of several books on Tudor history, including this one, On This Day in Tudor History, which I'm actually going to be reading from today. I'm going to take you back to 1556 and the reign of Queen Mary I. For it was on this day in Tudor history, the 21st of March 1556, that Archbishop Thomas Cranmer was burnt at the stake in Oxford for heresy, and he's actually known as one of the Oxford martyrs, along with Bishops Latimer and Ridley. His execution was a despicable act, in that it was unlawful because Cranmer had actually recanted 5 times. He should have been absolved, but he wasn't. On the day of his execution, Cranmer was ordered to make a final public recantation at the University Church, Oxford. He agreed, but after praying and exhorting the people to obey the King and Queen, he renounced his recantations and professed his true faith. He said, "And now I come to the great thing which so much troubleth my conscience, more than anything that ever I did or said in my whole life. And that is the setting abroad of a writing contrary to the truth, which now here I renounce and refuse, as things written with my hand contrary to the truth, which I thought in my heart, and written for fear of death, and to save my life, if it might be. And that is, all such bills or papers which I have written or signed with my hand since my degradation, wherein I have written many things untrue. And for as much as my hand hath offended, writing contrary to my heart, therefore my hand shall first be punished. For when I come to the fire, it shall first be burned. And as for the Pope, I refuse him as Christ's enemy and antichrist with all his false doctrine. And as for the sacrament, I believe, as I have taught in my book against the Bishop of Winchester, which my book teacheth so true a doctrine of the sacrament, that it shall stand in the last day before the judgment of God, where the papistical doctrines contrary thereto shall be ashamed to show their face." He was quickly dragged out of the pulpit and taken to the stake. Martyrologist John Fox describes what happened next. "With thoughts intent upon a far higher object than the empty threats of man, he reached the spot dyed with the blood of Ridley and Latimer. There he knelt for a short time in earnest devotion, and then arose that he might undress and prepare for the fire. 2 friars who had been parties in prevailing upon him to abjure now endeavoured to draw him off again from the truth, but he was steadfast and immovable in what he had just professed and before publicly taught. A chain was provided to bind him to the stake, and after it had tightly encircled him, fire was put to the fuel, and the flames began soon to ascend. Then, when the glorious sentiments of the martyr made manifest, then it was that, stretching out his right hand, he held it unshrinkingly in the fire till it was burnt to a cinder, even before his body was injured, frequently exclaiming, 'This unworthy right hand!' Apparently insensible of pain, with a countenance of venerable resignation, and eyes directed to him for whose cause he suffered, he continued, like Saint Stephen, to say, 'Lord Jesus, receive my spirit,' till the fury of the flames terminated his powers of utterance and existence. He closed a life of high sublunary elevation, of constant uneasiness, and of glorious martyrdom on March the 21st, 1556. So there you go. On this day in Tudor history, the 21st of March 1556, Thomas Cranmer, who had served as Archbishop of Canterbury, was burnt at the stake in Oxford, becoming one of Oxford's martyrs. Well, I'm sorry to leave you on such a gloomy note, but I will be back tomorrow. Who knows what I'll have in store for you tomorrow, whether it'll be an execution, a marriage, a baptism, a battle, who knows? Wait and see. You can subscribe by hitting the button there and, of course, hit the bell to be notified. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.